You mean why are we in Charlotte? Like
Why are we in Charlotte?
Well, we are in Charlotte for a couple reasons. One, Scott lives right down the road, so we're hanging out with him a little bit. But number two, we have our live event tomorrow. It's going to be all day with 15 people. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be teaching and hands-on into people's businesses, which is always a blast for us. But tonight, if you guys are in the area, something that's going to be a lot of fun, if you're anywhere near the North Carolina, South Carolina border, we're actually doing a meetup from 4 to 8, assuming we get off of power hour by 4 o'clock. Because at this rate, as someone pointed out earlier, the hour doesn't start until you can hear us. So we might actually be here till 4 o'clock. But after we're done here, we're actually going to have a meetup for about 4 hours. If you guys want all of the details for that, you can go to theamazingseller.com/NC, as in North Carolina. And the venue and directions and all that kind of stuff can be had there. If you guys let us know that you're coming on the page, that'll let us kind of give the people a heads up as to how many of us are coming. Right now, I think there's going to be about 3 of us, which is kind of cool. So I'm having fun. The sun is finally out today, which is a blast. It's been kind of rainy the last 2 days from what I hear. But I'm utterly enjoying myself so far.
Are you?
Utterly. I am.
Okay.
I am.
That sounds...
we're getting a lot of stuff done, but it's fun, right? Like, we had some meetings yesterday and today.
And today. Really good.
We're going to have some on Sunday, and we're going to have some on Monday. We seem to at least enjoy each other's company, and we fake it pretty well if we don't. So that always works out well. And on top of that, we're going to walk away with a big list of stuff to do, and that's kind of one of the reasons that I like kind of being in the same room with you. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
But
I know.
We also have to have times where we actually implement stuff. So this kind of stuff, on top of all the fun that we get to have, on top of hanging out with all the TASers, anytime we're together ends up being a very productive couple days. Not necessarily in that couple days, but for the 2-3 weeks after that. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and I want people to, I guess really what I want them to understand is that, like, when you get together, like, different things happen as far as, like, creatively.
Yeah.
So if you do have people that you're working with, it's good to get together, or just to get together, like we're going to do tonight with some TASers, is we're going to have a meetup, and usually then a lot of really cool things happen, good ideas happen. Chris, I'm going to try to post that now if you want.
Okay.
If you just want to go ahead and...
That's the group.
No, it's not. That's the group. So, Chris, I don't know. Maybe what we can do is talk a little bit about what we plan on going over on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, and kind of what we've been planning and why we decided to even do this.
Okay. So one of the things that we're doing tomorrow, and actually it's the main reason that we're doing the workshop tomorrow, you guys may have heard us talk about some of the live events that we've done in the past. We've done some really cool things, at least in my opinion. In the past, we've done some hot seats. We've focused exclusively on Amazon businesses. We did an event that was kind of a hybrid of those, and this event is specifically about building your launch list. And you guys may or may not have already seen the workshop that we did on that. And that can be found at theamazingseller.com/build list, and that's one of the strategies that we're using. But the reason we decided to do the workshop is we had a lot of people say, hey, I get it, I totally understand that I have to have an offer, and that giveaways work really well for that, but I don't think it works for my market. Or I'm not sure where to get a traffic source. Or maybe I'm not sure how to follow up and launch. Like, I listened to the couple episodes that you guys did on the way that you're launching products, but I'm not sure how that plays into my giveaway and how to fit all those things together. So what we decided to do was do a live event for 15 people, and tomorrow we're actually going to walk through those 3 kind of big chunks. How to understand how to build an offer, how to understand where your traffic is coming from, where your market is, and why you might look at Pinterest or Facebook or whatever those traffic sources are. And then obviously how to launch. We're going to go through in detail for everybody how we've been launching. We're going to give out some templates. We're going to do all those kinds of things. And then we're going to do something I think that's going to be a lot of fun in the afternoon. We're going to do some roundtables to work through whatever that sticking point is that you come up with after we kind of throw material at you all morning. We're going to take a break for lunch, come back, and have some in-depth discussions about those things. But then we're actually going to take the time to build whatever that is that they need with people this afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon, which is going to be fun. So we're going to do the education in the morning, some Q&A, and then we're actually going to be hands-on and implementing. So if you need help building your offer, we'll sit down with you and help you with that. If you need help figuring out where your audience is hanging out and where you should be running ads to that offer, we'll sit down with you and help you do that. And then if you've already kind of built that giveaway and built that list, and I know some people that are here have already done that, like the Armstrongs, how do you actually then turn that into a launch list versus just kind of a passive list? And so we're going to be working through all of those things tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that was a very good rundown of everything that's going on. Pretty awesome. I did also just post it in the group. So depending on where you're watching this, if you're watching it on the fan page, you can go ahead and you can like it, share it. We'd love that. Also, if you're in the group, you can just send some of those beautiful hearts that you're sending across there right now and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited about being here, being able to talk about this stuff, especially closed, like in a closed room with 15 people. Like, we made it where it was a 15-person cutoff. We didn't want any more than that because we wanted to be able to really dive in and help implement, but also go over the offer, go over, you know, the different ways to go out there and find the traffic, okay? To go out there and then build that list, but then also know who you're actually marketing to. And there was one big example that we're going to be actually talking a little bit about, was like how you can go out there, find your audience, but then your audience might not be exactly where you think they are.
Right.
And I think that's really big. And you know, what does that mean? Well, you know, there was an example of a wooden watch company. They were actually they were featured on Steve Chu's podcast, and they built a wood watch company. And they built it all on Instagram, just Instagram. And the cool thing about that company is they started exactly with what we're doing, right? But then they started to refine it over time. So they would go out and go, oh, okay, where are watch people hanging out? Well, maybe cool gadgets. So then they would find an Instagram page, they would post it on that Instagram page, maybe pay them $25, $50. And then they seen the results. But then they also seen that the people that were buying and that were clicking were also people that were interested in the outdoors stuff or the outdoor scene. So, like, beautiful pictures, landscapes, animal lovers, like people that were, you know, people that are into, you know, recycling, like those types of people, right? They found out that was their core customer. So now they're finding Instagram pages that's representing those people. But they didn't know that when they started, that was the type of people that they were going to serve with their product. Does that make sense, Chris?
It does. And you can find people anywhere. And that's the thing I think that a lot of people get hung up on with the traffic section of this. And that's one of the reasons that I want to kind of dive into it tomorrow. You don't have to run Facebook ads. That might not be where your audience is. Now, a lot of audiences can be found on Facebook, and it might be a great place to start. But you don't have to do that. And I know, like, in the list building workshop that we did, we talked all about how we used Instagram to really slingshot, for lack of a better word, one of the giveaways that we were doing, because we knew that our audience, in that case sneakerheads, were very active on Instagram, right? And so we used Instagram, but Instagram might not be the place that you go for influencers. You might use Facebook, or you might use Pinterest, or you might use a forum, or you might use Reddit, or you might just go to bloggers, or you may find a YouTuber who's willing to promote your stuff and drive thousands of people a day, or thousands of people per video to your giveaway or to your product. And a lot of people get hung up on the channel and miss the strategy, right? It's like the tactic versus strategy thing. Right? Here's the strategy. The strategy is find a group of people, drive them to an offer, get their email, and then go from there, right? People get focused on the tactics, and they say, well, I have to run Facebook ads, but I don't know how to run Facebook ads, so I'm just not going to do it. Or you guys are talking about Instagram. I don't even know how to reach out to somebody on Instagram. Like, if you don't, watch the workshop at theamazingseller.com/list, and we show you how to do it. It's super
simple. Slow that down, man. Slow that down. That's a link right there you're giving.
Theamazingseller.com/build list.
Yes.
I'm so used to being able to just put that up on the screen.
Yeah, you got that thing flying off your tongue. All right.
And you know, we show you how to do that, but you don't need to get focused down on that. You need to understand the strategy, and then you need to identify where your audience is hanging out. It might be Instagram, it might not be, it might be Facebook, it might not be. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. And before we move on here, I've got to call out to my two guys over here on the side. You guys up on Facebook? You watching this at all? Okay.
Are there any questions?
It could be your internet too, by the way.
Because we got questions and comments.
I want questions and comments. I want to know what they are. So this way here, if you guys can just maybe even just kind of feed us those afterwards, because we can't really see the phone that well. Guys, we have this thing. Jimmy, you might want to take a picture of this at some point too. This is pretty stellar setup we got here.
Very professional setup.
Yeah, I got a credit card holding up the back of the phone so it's tight. And what did Bill say? He goes, that there's your construction skills chops coming out again.
He's just shimming the table.
Yeah, I'm just shimming it with like a wood shim.
I was worried I wasn't using the proper terminology.
Give me one of those shims, will you? But I think it's really, really important. You trying to read questions?
Yeah.
The
sun is like right here.
They're going to feed it. They're going to feed it.
Get it on my
Yeah. Well, Dom, you know, Dom is actually supporting us this week here with this amazing Take Action shirt. A new color, by the way.
Rocking the new one.
The new color, that was created just for North Carolina event.
Royal blue.
It's the Royal blue.
It's Tar Heel blue. Right?
I didn't even plan that, but that could be the case, right?
I'm just happy it fit.
It does, man. It looks awesome, actually. Yeah, I mean, we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to broadcast today because we are super busy. We have a meetup, which is going to be in about an hour in a few minutes here, an hour and a half.
Still got time to make it.
If you guys are in North Carolina and you're near the Ballantyne area, we're going to be, the event page is at theamazingseller.com/NC, and that'll take you right to the event page. It's going to be amazing. Again, I always look forward to these. I get to meet you guys in person. Chris does, Dom does, and we got a few other people that are here that are on the team that you get to meet. And really, I think it's just about meeting each other.
SNS, strut launch the chart.
Yeah.
Strut launch chart.
The cool thing about getting together with people is, like Chris was saying, you get to actually network. And now that these people came together, some people are flying in. Some people are flying in to be at our event tomorrow, but some people are local. So because they're local, they might create their own little meetup maybe once a month.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Happened in Dallas.
I find also that if you're in the point where you're frustrated or you're losing interest, I find a lot of these times it revives that interest. I find that when we have our meetups in Canada, like I was struggling, but now I'm excited. I want to go back and I want to.
It's a reboot, right?
Yeah, it's a reboot because now there's 30 other people that are doing the same thing, so I'm not all by myself.
Exactly.
Because I know 90% of the people that are doing this, they have nobody they can talk to.
Right.
They're like, I know sometimes spouses and stuff, but your coworkers, if you're working full time, I do a private label, that's great.
Right.
Did you see the Patriots game? Like they don't.
Yeah.
It's not a focus. When you come here, you're with 30 people.
Oh, people want to talk about it, right? They're like, oh my gosh, this one thing I just did.
I really want to tell you myself.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well,
That's true.
That I think is a great point, and we hear that brought up a lot of different places. Like the Armstrongs have brought that up to me. They said, because they're in the Houston area, and if you guys are in the Houston area, make sure you reach out because they're definitely people you want to connect with. They said there's not really anybody down here, and like when we were in Seller Summit, I know Tony said the same thing to me at brunch. She said, there's not really anybody around me. Nobody really gets it.
Yeah.
Because I work in retail, right? Like nobody understands the private label thing, and it's your chance to come nerd out, for lack of a better term, for 4 hours, where everybody's going to understand exactly what you're talking about, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a blast for us because we actually get to put names to faces.
Right.
Like, and we were just having this conversation with some of the TASers in the lobby. They're like, we kind of feel like we know you, but you don't know us, and it's a little weird. And for us, it's the opportunity to kind of make that connection full circle.
Right.
And that lights us up and that gets us on fire. And the other thing is, it gets us to know your story and it lets us help you a little bit. And it also lets us know kind of what everybody else is struggling with. Because we have different struggles and challenges in the different things that we do than you do, or Bill does, or Jimmy does, or anybody else that's out there. So we get to hear some things. And when that happens, we get to hear some common themes. Like, one of the reasons that we're doing this workshop is at one of the previous hangouts that we did, everybody said, how do we launch now? Right? I don't know how to launch now. We said, well, it's very easy. Let us explain it to you. And they went, seems like a lot of work, right?
Well, yeah.
And then you break it down into something like this, and it becomes a lot more consumable.
Yeah. Well, the other cool thing is, too, is like a lot of things have happened since we even started to teach this.
Right.
Like we built the launch list in Arizona, or before we went to Arizona, and we were doing it as just a test. We didn't even have our new brand launched yet.
No.
We just crossed 25,000 in that new brand, by the way.
In revenue?
In revenue.
Since the last week in April.
In the last week in April, up till now, 25,000 in revenue we've done so far to date. And a lot of that had to do with using this to launch the products. We have 5 products right now that were launched using what we're talking about. What we talked about in the build list. Like, to me, it's something that you need to understand that in order to move forward and to really understand this and have an edge, it's either number one, finding influencers in other marketplaces or in channels like YouTube, and then utilizing them, or creating your own. Or maybe you're the face of the business. If you're the face of the business, I mean, we just had a meeting with one of our partners in our new brand this morning, and it's so crazy on what we want to do and what we can do because we have a face. Like, we're talking about a cause now. We're talking about, like, how can we actually incorporate a cause into the business? And, like, how can we do more Facebook Lives? How can we teach more? Like, if you have that, it's another level. If you don't have that, you have to try to find other people that are like that you can leverage and then have them use and share your product. Before we go on any further, Dom's shirt, I want to mention that again. It's an amazing color. It's a brand new shirt. If you guys want one of those shirts, I'm going to give one person one of those shirts. Okay? All you have to do is comment on here, okay, and give us just a question. Is that all we should have them do? Just ask a question?
We can make it a little harder.
All right.
We could. Everybody knows what city that we're from. We'll actually autograph this shirt. Send it to.
No, we won't do
What's
that.
an autographed shirt?
You don't want an autographed shirt. Okay, so
I've only had it on for a minute.
ask a question. No one wants your orange shirt on.
I'll wear your shirt.
Maybe one day there will be. We are almost ready, Bill. Bill, you're giving me a lot of pressure. You're giving me a lot of pressure here.
We don't know
He keeps jamming me with like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" All right. I just wanted to get that out. If you have a question, put it in there, and we'll put you into the running for one of these Take Action new shirts created for North Carolina. You will get one of these. I have about 60 of them.
New Royal Blue.
Yep, New Royal Blue. All right, Bill, I am ready for the first question.
And I'm not the only one, Chrissy. Allie here asked it twice because he thinks we're ignoring him.
Okay. Who, Allie? Was it Allie? Allie? Sorry, I'm sorry. We're here now.
We can't read your questions, so we're going to have them read, and then we'll respond.
Regarding PPC, should I use the same keyword search terms as my competitors, as they are exactly what I need, and start a phrase or exact campaign rather than broad because they are proven to drive sales and also very relevant to my product?
Okay.
They are about more than 1,000 search terms.
All right, no, 1,000 search terms is way too many, number one. Number one. That used to be the old strategy where we would just throw in 1,000 keywords and see what would stick. I'm not a fan of that. And you guys can chime in, debate, whatever you want to do.
Push you onto the ground.
Push me on the ground, make me do push-ups in front of everyone. I don't care.
Rub you up against our jail cell here.
Yeah, I know. We look like we're in a jail cell. We had a beautiful view inside, and then this thing happened because of the internet. Damn interwebs.
And it's hot.
And it's all right, anyway.
It's just a fad, guys.
Okay, so here's the deal. I've been finding, and I know that Dom, I think, agrees with this, because I had some of his help on this, is you find 5 or 10 keywords that could be your potential, main keywords and your competitors' keywords, okay? Because really, honestly, you don't know what keywords are really driving their sales. You really don't know that. Right. All we know is that it's probably stainless steel garlic press. So what we want to do is create a broad match term, okay, and then we're going to be able to pick up on the actual search terms.
Right.
Then we can decide if we want to do phrase or exact. But I would not say immediately start running an exact match campaign for stainless steel garlic press. Not until I know that converts and also that I know what's being searched for. So my recommendation would be start small, drive the traffic using broad terms, and then from there look at the data over probably 2 weeks. And you want to bid high, because this way here you're going to be able to see how much it's going to take you to rank. I'm talking in the sponsored ads, how long it's going to take you to rank, and how quickly. I mean, we did it in 20 minutes. That we've seen that we could rank on page 1 in position 2 or 3 fairly quickly. But we were able to bid enough, so we kind of put our bid up high to see what that exactly was. Another guy that we're working with did the exact same thing, and he is spending $5 a click, but now he knows, right, that's what it's going to take. And it's funny. I talked to him just the other day about this, and I'm like, here's the deal though. You're paying $5 now. They're going to be like, you know what? I don't want to spend $5. I'm going to back off on that. And when they back off, your cost is going to come down.
Yep.
And that's how that's going to work. So that's my spiel. Go ahead. Anything you want to add? How did I do?
It's good.
Did I do okay?
It sounds very familiar. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It's pretty well the standard you have to do. You gotta set the criteria to be the leader for those keywords. The reason I wouldn't start off with exact, first of all, because you're going to be spending lots of money and you're not really going to get like a mass amount of search terms at all. You're basically, you're never going to get as many broad.
You're losing all of that other extra stuff you could have got.
All of the potential. And this is a mistake, not just in PPC, but I see this made, and it's one of the reasons that I'm a big fan of split testing. And I know Dom has his feelings on split testing. We don't want to result.
We could actually arm wrestle. We could arm wrestle.
I would lose that. I'm not going to even bother. I'm not stupid enough to engage in that. But the mistake that I see made all the time is we assume we know right? This is my market. I know where my market is. I'm not going to test it. I know the words that they use to describe this. I'm not going to test it. And the answer is you probably don't. Even if you're in that market, you don't know all of the words or phrases that people use to describe these things. Right. And the example that I like to use now, and one of you guys brought it up on Facebook Live, so thank you, is soda versus pop. Right? If you run for just soda and you run that as exact, you're not going to show up for searches of soda pop or of pop. But both of those are technically relevant terms for what you're going to do. If you run in broad, Amazon goes, okay, well, soda pop you're definitely relevant for, right? Because it's got the word soda in it. Right. Then you see that and you go, oh, duh, pop is another one. So then you add pop in as a keyword. And obviously there's going to be some stuff you have to pull out of there because pop isn't always relevant. But if you think you know what's best, instead of letting the data make a decision for you, you miss out on a ton of opportunity. And it's not just in PPC, it's in titles, it's in photos, it's in all of those kinds of things. By assuming that we can make the best listing the first time, or the best set of photos the first time, or we know all of the search terms that our customers would possibly lose, you might be right. But chances are you're missing a big one. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 sales a day that you wouldn't get otherwise. Does that make sense?
It makes 100% sense. 100% sense. 100% makes sense. What I was going to say is, for exact terms, though, guys, I think my belief is that you have to have a little more experience using PPC. It's a graduation of your broad terms, and then you want to see what you're getting hit on. Of course, everybody knows. You know, if you're selling Dyson accessories, you're going to use Dyson might be your main keyword. But you don't. If you're spending $5 a click on Dyson, you don't want how many clicks you're going to get in an hour. Like you're just gonna, you won't be able to afford the hits at $5. Your campaign's gonna go, because most of you guys are probably going to set it for $30 because you don't want to spend $150, $200. So it's a graduate. Now what happens is now, like with the Open brand and then the new brands that we're working on, the actual brand. We don't mind doing exact on stuff, but even I don't think we're using exact for some of those.
There's only a couple that I'm at right now, and it's taken me
a very high threshold to get to exact. And the reason for that is the same with broad. When you move to phrase, it's stainless steel garlic press, right? Might be a phrase keyword that we use, or a phrase search term that we use. But when you put that in phrase, Amazon is going to bolt words on the beginning or the end of that. So it might be blue stainless steel garlic press. And if you drop stainless steel garlic press in as an exact term without running it through that phrase filter, you might miss out. You're not going to get search impressions for blue or yellow.
That's right.
And when you do that in phrase, instead of moving it directly to exact, then you find out that blue stainless steel garlic press is the one that converts, and if somebody clicks on yellow, they never buy it. Well, then I don't want to show up for that. So I'm going to put that in as a negative, and then I don't want to see it.
My only thing I would say to people, if you are going to start exact for a campaign, which I would never suggest anybody just starting.
If you're going to do it.
If you're going to do it, make sure that you do it on its own campaign. So that's the only word you have. Don't mix it in, because what happens when you do exact in another campaign, it's going to take all your money. Because Amazon says, oh, you got... We're going to just keep hitting your exact,
especially for Dyson.
So what happened, exactly. So what you want to do is when you keep it separate, you set your budget just for that for $25, and then everything else, once that runs out for the exact, your other campaigns will shut down because of that, because the exact Dyson took all your money. So we always do, like garlic press would be all by itself, and then garlic stainless steel would be all by itself too. We basically pick about...
You're not sharing the budget.
We don't share any budget, So I usually pick about 4 to 5 for each product, and I do exact for that. Now, I'll be honest, I do it right from the beginning most of the time because I've been doing it for 4 years, and I can afford to take the hit, and I want to know, again, I'm like you guys, I want to know right away what it's costing. What's the exact word for Dyson? I want to know if it's $8, and it will be $8. Trust me. You know, don't look at that stuff that says, obviously, if you say, you know, the average bid may be
suggested bid.
If it says $8.65, you know you have to bid at least 15, which is crazy. So anyway, so at least if you do it, put it to separate so it doesn't use all your other budget.
All right, we got a timeout on the pay per click because I know we can go 150 days on that.
Maybe you guys are.
I want to bang out a bunch more. We got we can go about 15 more minutes. So if we got
we can just do it live
on your phone, you might run out of battery.
Well, we'll just run till the phone runs
out. Until the phone runs out.
What about if we do it in the back seat? Will one of these guys drive? We'll just put the tripod on the back seat.
All right, listen. Again, I want to remind anybody that's just tuning in right now. You see that blue shirt that Dom's wearing? That amazing Take Action, the Amazing Seller t-shirt. On the back it says #TakeAction, theamazingseller.com. We're going to give one person that leaves a comment down below, or a question, I should say, down below, and we'll pick a winner here. We'll probably give it a day or so. See you later.
See you.
Yay! My wife and my daughter are leaving the resort right now.
They
So
got some.
they got a little time in the pool.
Yeah.
All
my
right.
daughter and my wife.
Yeah.
Which I don't know
Mr.
where they are.
Schwatra, hit us with a question.
Yeah, hit us with a question.
So but earlier you guys might have been talking about Instagram because Daniel is asking,
Yeah.
does Instagram qualify the type of person or interest?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. Here's the deal. Maybe, maybe not, right? It does your audience. I'll give you a perfect example. We did our test case study with sneakers, right? We did a sneaker giveaway. And we were doing this as a test to kind of build, a following in the sneakerhead world. Well, am I going to sell my garlic press to that? Do you think that on Instagram, maybe that my audience would probably be more over on Facebook if I was doing a garlic press? Probably. Now, could I find a cooking Instagram channel? Probably.
Tons of them, sure.
Right?
Oh, there's a boatload.
So in that case, you could probably do both. But I would say this, if you're in the sneaker market, you're probably not going to find your audience over on Facebook. Those guys, I can tell you, because my son is that avatar, he's not on Facebook. He's on Instagram. Okay?
Now, I'll argue with you there just because we got
Sure.
12,000 leads from Facebook for that list. But
Yeah.
we knew, see, here's the other thing. We knew who to target and we knew how to target.
Well, that's the difference.
Instagram is very easy. Now, what they won't qualify necessarily is like country of origin. But here's the thing, guys. If you get 50 people from Canada and you're only selling in the US, yeah, you spent a couple cents to acquire them. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, right? You happen to have some people on your list that you can't sell to right now. Oh well, you're always going to have some people that unsubscribe. You're always going to have people who aren't a perfect fit because they're just interested in the thing, if that makes sense. Instagram doesn't give you that like geographic targeting like Facebook does. But what Instagram gives you is instantaneous access to the niche. So, unlike on Facebook where a lot of pages will cross-post different things, and you can't be in the feed on that page, you can be in the news feed to fans of that page or something like that. You are in the middle of sneaker content or cooking content or whatever else because the page is posting for you.
Right.
And so if you say, okay, my people love cooking, I'm going to go to Instagram, I'm going to search for cooking pages, and I'm going to find the top 15, and I'm going to reach out to all of them. And 2 of them are going to post it. Well, nobody's going to follow the cooking page if they're not interested in cooking.
Right.
Unless they just really like pictures of food, in which case,
Right.
oh well, right? But 99.9% of those people are self-qualifying, at least in terms of the niche. And a lot of the questions that we've been getting about, like, how do using giveaway boost, do I geographically limit it? My answer would be no. A good portion of those people are going to be from the U.S. You can do that on the back end if you're that worried about it. If you're really concerned about where your leads are coming from, then a platform like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter ads, something like that might be better for you because you can geographically target.
But really, it's not like you have a brick and mortar. You're trying to get people to your location. I mean, as long as they're within North America, I think you're going to be. As long as they buy something, I mean, as long as they're, you can get their.
But here's the deal, though, on that, and again, we can move on.
Talk about this all day.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It's very, very important that you understand where they are hanging out, 1. 2, what their interests are. Because if that person is interested in garlic, right, they might be into organic things, right? So then we can start to understand that maybe we can post in an organic page about random stuff, not just garlic.
You mean like organic food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. But so what I'm saying is like, and I'm glad you brought that up because that could be confusing, but it's like you need to understand that you're not just going after what is the obvious. You have to also see, and that's why Facebook's really good because you can start to learn those different interests by that person, right? And those lookalike audiences and stuff like that. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. But yeah, as far as where's your audience, that's up for you. That's up to you to find that out, right? Go to YouTube, see if there's some channels that have hundreds of thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You'll know by that, right?
I was going to say, simplicity of it is that if the one channel doesn't work, you just flip to the other one.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's not difficult.
Well, I would dabble.
It's not like you're
right?
I would do both.
I would go look.
Once you know the model, like how to put it all together, you just
Now, now in our new brand, we are not going after Instagram right now.
Yeah.
Is our audience there?
Oh,
yeah,
sure there are.
They're there.
I would say that most of the stuff is actually both, I'd imagine.
But the thing is why did we do Facebook? Easier.
Because you can target it more. Yeah.
Easier right now. Like it was easy for us to do that.
You don't have to go get the people to post your picture and follow them on.
No, we just fired up an ad and off to the races.
For sure.
So that's how that works. You got another one?
Heather wants to know if you source when you travel? For instance, in Mexico when you went, did you do any sourcing while you're there?
While I'm there, no, I didn't do any work there. Really, what I did there was I let him behind me here, Chris Shaffer, kind of man the fort a little bit. We launched 3 products during that little mini getaway, but no, I did not source any products while I was in Mexico, and I don't think Dom did either.
Not Mexico, but here I did a little bit of retail arb when we're sitting at the Walmart.
Nice.
We'll have
to do that
Had a big
live.
clearance wall with dollar stuff. What was it? It was Betty Crocker. I don't know, Betty Crocker stuff you put on cakes. I'm like,
We might have to do a walkthrough like Sunday.
So,
or
but
Monday.
in Arizona we did. We found a really some cool
That's
products.
right.
Some more handmade type stuff that we could commercialize.
That's
which
right.
were really
That's
cool
right.
stuff.
That's
So,
actually
it's just a fluke
yeah,
sometimes you find
sometimes
products
it
like
is.
that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
So I'll read it here so in case the audience wants to hear the question. Nick is asking, I have a product that I'm in the works of launching. The shipping costs will make or break this item as a potential product of mine. The product is custom from the supplier's usual product, as it is multiple in one box as one unit. Without the supplier starting the mass production of this item, how can I get accurate shipping quotes from them? Should I just ask for what they think the size and weight will be? I do not want to make a purchase order and then the shipping kills me. Any suggestions would help? Thank you.
Okay, Nick.
Nick.
Asked the question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick, for the question, and here's your answer.
I think you answered your own question.
Yeah, I did
If
too.
the shipping costs are going to make or break you, it's broken.
But he wants to know how to figure that out.
But my answer to that is if it's going to come down to how tight your margins are on shipping,
Yeah.
your margins are too small on that product. That being said, if your margins are going to double when you move to a 2,000 unit production, that might be different, right?
Why not? Yeah.
If you're only on like a $4 or $5 margin and you're looking at a $5 cost in shipping, that can be really tight. What I would say, get as close of an estimate as you can. It sounds like you're doing like multiple of a quantity in a box. You should know how many each of the how much each of those units weighs, and then the dimensions of the box, and you should be able to get a fairly
They'll
close
give you your
estimate.
CBM. They'll give you your CBM.
And they'll be able to do that. I would say if you're only going to have like even 50 cents or $1 in profit after they give you that shipping quote, that's really close to that line for me, and that's why we talk about $10 in margin, and we talk about $10 in margin after the cost of shipping and the cost.
But here's the thing that you need to understand. Number one, you can get a good idea by them taking the components, putting them in a box, and saying, how much is it going to weigh? How big's the box going to be? And then from there, they're going to give you a pretty darn good,
CBM right
a
away.
pretty good idea of what that's going to be. Now, is there going to be a few pennies off? It might be.
Because by the time you get shipped at the cost of CBM might be
It could change.
$285 versus $273.
It can change, like the stock market, but you're going to get the idea.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Like, if you're doing that, and like Chris was saying, that should not make or break your decision, because here's my thought always. I'm going to ship it by air.
Yeah.
I know I'm paying more. I know that my cost is only going to get better if I do it. So if I can make it profitable at air,
There's two ways to think about it. Like you're
Yeah.
doing it like that.
Yeah.
And when we first started, we kind of did it like that. But now, the way we do it is when we do our test order, for the open brand or some other stuff now, I want to make my margins on flying it over. And then when I send it by ship, I might get an extra 40%.
Right,
that's what I. So
that's
now I get
exactly,
140%. Yeah.
Because you're saying, look, if I can get my $8 to $10 margin via air, that's going to improve by $2.
That's right. But what I'm not doing is, I'm only making 20% if I ship it by air.
Right.
Once I ship it by sheet, because you might not get that far.
I got you.
And then, don't forget, we're talking, to go from 1,000 units to 5,000, the savings of items is only about 20 to 30 cents.
Yeah, it's not much.
Very little. If you go from 5,000 to 100,000, then you might be saving
right?
65 cents.
But the shipping could be a
Yes.
lot bigger than that. The
Well-
shipping could be $5 a unit to $2 a unit.
Going from air DP to a 20-foot container to a 40-foot container
Yeah.
is massive
Yeah,
discount.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But you're talking.
You might not get to 40. That's the issue, right? So you can't. You got to play with it. I feel like you should be about 30% margin.
You
even
just
before
did
you left.
a 40-foot container.
Yeah, we had 2 of them just got sent into this
Do
week.
you know what your per kilo rate was?
It's $2.65 a CBM this month.
Versus
It used to be $1.91
Right.
about 8 months ago, and I used to pay like $1.85. That's how much it's gone up in the last 2 years. To fly, it's insane. It's like $3.50, $4 CBM.
Right, so you're talking a third of the cost
Yeah.
to ship by sea. So, again, the per kilo rates, which is what we throw around a lot, you're talking $6 or $7 versus $2 to $3.
CBM's cubic, guys. Cubic,
Right.
that's without skids, without pallets. So you're right. You got to leave yourself some margin because you don't know what duties, you don't know if customs are going to stop you. You're going to know if you make a mistake with your freight forwarder, defect rate. So all this stuff, you know, we like to work on a 30% margin, and that's a good thing. For me, I hate 30%. I'm always thinking 100.
Yeah.
So that's not feasible at first, right?
Yeah.
Like our good buddy Bill, he's doing stuff. He paid a lot to ship it in, but it's going to be worth it because he already knows what the cost can be in.
Right.
And once it starts going to bigger volume, then which you'll get to, it's going to cause that.
Worry
But
about losing it.
yeah, I mean, you gotta know, especially with DDP, very expensive.
Yeah.
But seamless.
Right.
No headaches, no customer. You don't need the freight forwarder.
And if you can make it work with DDP,
Yeah,
you
they
can
do
sure as heck
100%.
make it work
It's
with
gonna get
any
better.
other shipping medium.
Yeah.
And that's why I suggest that, because it's
Yeah.
the easiest way to do it,
Like a timer.
and you're gonna
Yeah,
save
yeah.
on margins. The other
Yeah.
All right,
What
all
I'm
right.
saying, I
Bill,
don't want-
Bill just said we
I
need
don't
a
want-
timer.
I don't
We
want
need a
people to like think that, okay, I know a lot of people might, okay, when I start shipping it by 40-foot containers,
Right.
I'm going to save $1.85.
Right.
You might not ever
You don't want to get to that
Might
point.
not ever
and
get
bank
get to
on
that point. Then you're always stuck at that, only making $1.25. Oh, I thought I'd get
That makes
there.
sense.
All right, Will Bennett from San Diego wants to know,
Will.
when you launch using your list, how many units are you giving away, at what discount, and is this to boost sales or get reviews, or both?
No, I like
And
that question.
Are you turning on PPC at the same time?
Okay, it's a great question.
Depends.
Yeah, no. All right, all right. I'm gonna give a quick one.
That's what he wants to answer this time.
I do. I'm chomping. Okay, number one, how many units are you going to give away? Generally, I like 150 to 200 units, but it depends, because I'm willing to give away even more because we're not giving away for free.
And we've never set a limit
No,
that way.
No,
because we're making money.
yeah, because every time that we're doing it now, it's a 50% discount is the max that we're giving. And then from there, if we can get, maybe we can sell 100 to 150 units in like 5-6 days, we're going to get a huge spike in sales, which we've done numerous times. So to me, if I can do 500 units, I'd be willing to still do that, because here's the deal. That first run, and we've talked about this, that first run, whether it's 500 or 1,000, I just want to break even and get sales velocity.
We bring 1,000 in of everything to give away.
Yeah.
That's the old model. I
Yep.
still do it.
Yep. But the giveaway is different now. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
giveaway of 90%
Yeah.
or 100% off. It's
That's right.
like 50% off
Yeah.
is what we'll do. Or forget it.
Good.
With the open
We
brand,
do it both ways.
we
back
do it
to
now
us.
pay per click. All we're doing now is
With
we're not
low
even
entry.
launching to a
And I'll
list.
do a thousand pieces
Right.
low entry.
Pay per
Maybe
click.
regular $4.99, I'll put it for $9.99.
Right.
For 1,000 pieces, when I get to 1,000, I put it back up.
But right away though, I mean, I want to give a time out, because a lot of people that I'm hearing from exactly this here is like, how many should I allow, and then when can I start making profit? It's not the right mindset.
It works.
Just to dig
Right.
your well before you're thirsty.
Oh, we've said that
Oh,
many
I
times.
love it, right?
That's right.
Dig your well before you're thirsty. You have to do the work now. You have to get yourself rooted into the Amazon system. And like you said, if you do that, when the traffic really starts to decline, you're already there. You're already known. So to me, if you can get past the, how many units do I have to take a loss on, or do I have to break even on before I can start putting money in my pocket? Like, you need to push that out. And to me, that's like the mindset of like real long term. I mean, we're sitting here with our good friend Bill, and just launched a product, and 1,000 units. Those 1,000 units to him are really like, just how do I get sales? I'm not even looking at return, and I'm willing to spend up to 10 grand on pay per click just to get sales velocity. And, now
It's not the norm.
I
But
don't. He's in a competitive
he's a very
market.
competitive space.
Okay.
Bill's adorable. He's a freak of nature. But
But he wanted to go after this, even though we said, and we're all for it. But in the same breath, we also said, listen, it's going to take more than maybe what we're doing in the open brand with just a simple little launch strategy. And he's okay with that. He's like, I'm willing to sacrifice 6
You
months.
knew that going into it.
He knew it going into it,
Yeah.
because he knows the rewards are so high,
Yeah.
right?
The thing is, it all comes down, we've said it a million times, it's all the space that you're in. Whatever category, whatever your product is. If you're in a competitive category, you're going to have to give a lot. So you better hope you're not buying stuff for 25 that sells for 50 and you're really competitive.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys come in, but my cost cost me $25. But usually when you're at a $25, $30 cost, even $20 cost, you're not as competitive in your
Right.
market. So you don't have to give away as much. When we talk, like for me, if I was the norm is, again, if I'm giving away 1,000, I'm not paying $25 for something. I'm giving away 1,000.
Right.
So when we do high-end stuff now, because we're doing a lot of 25 and over now, I'm going in with low cost, I'm giving away about 100, and then I stop. That's it. And how I do it, I just pay as much. I'd rather spend my money on PPC. Whatever Amazon's telling me, and that's what we'll do. We'll just keep putting money into PPC as much as I can, because I found that that's the easiest model versus.
Because you're feeling that
Yeah.
Amazon's going to reward you because you spent money with them, and
4
they
years
also
has
have more
told me that.
intelligence on your product.
We've done it with you. We've done it with your new brand.
Yep.
Same thing. Now
Yep.
you're already on page 1 of a lot of the stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
we're on page 1
right?
for a very
You're
very
bleeding.
popular, a
Yeah.
two-word keyword.
Yeah.
By the way.
Ear hemorrhaging for the first couple of weeks. It hurts. But again, and you're in a competitive space.
Time's up.
You know.
All right, go ahead, Bill. I like
Austin-
Bill on here. He's
Well,
like,
Austin-
Holy.
Austin Lawson is asking, do you think
Austin
Amazon's
Matthews.
purchase of Whole Foods will impact us in any way, such as
Zero.
opening up new opportunities to us?
Do you sell grocery? If yes, then probably. I think
Rachel, our grocery line a
I
little bit.
kind of went on a rant about this a little bit last week. I think it's a brilliant move on Amazon's part, assuming it goes through. There's talk about Walmart trying to outbid them just because they don't want Amazon to get the retail side. If you sell grocery, I think you're going to see an immediate impact because you're going to have some shelf space. And the rumors that are kind of circulating are kind of cool. The thing that's always made Whole Foods unique is if you have a grocery product, you can walk into your Whole Foods, ask for the manager, and they will potentially put it on the shelf in that store. If it works in that store, they'll put it in the region. If it works in the region, they'll roll it out
They'll do a
nationally.
test, yeah.
You cannot walk into a Walmart and be like, look at my granola, right?
No.
They'll laugh you out of the store, but in Whole Foods, you can do
You can
that.
have 20 meetings
And
if you're lucky.
they're talking
do
about
that?
You can do that?
You can do
There's the
that.
falls right there.
You're talking about Amazon supposedly is talking about keeping that model, which would be really cool for people who need a tangible place to list their product.
What's going to probably happen to is I was thinking about that. What they have is so if you're selling that stuff, even health and beauty, we're selling food product, anything that's organic stuff. Once you're at a selling threshold, they'll say, "Hey, we want to wholesale. We want to put it into Whole Foods for you."
Yeah.
So they'll probably start a new venture program as well.
Yeah.
So
The
99% of it's not going to affect us.
I don't
at all.
think
The other thing I think that's going to come out of that is if you're in any of those complementary areas, grocery, health and beauty, they'll probably roll out what's called like an endless aisle experience, right? Like if you've been in a Kohl's ever, you walk into Kohl's and if you can't find the size that you want, they have that big touchscreen kiosk,
Oh, yeah?
right? And you
Oh,
can
Kohl's
order
in Canada.
online and you can pick it up in the store, right?
Okay.
And I think Amazon, if the Whole Foods thing goes through, I think they'll do that. They'll say, look, if we're not going to carry every supplement in the store, but if you can't find the supplement that you want in our supplement section, go to a little kiosk at the end of the aisle, we'll ship it to the store, and then you can pick it up, and we'll ship it to your house.
Yeah.
And so that'll give you exposure in the store as well, which is kind of cool. You know, it's 400 locations, 460
They'll
something
do a
locations.
platform it too, though. Can't find it?
Yeah.
We'll link you up to the Amazon.
And that's
We'll just
exactly
ship
the
it to you.
endless
You can
aisle
order right from the store.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, it's going to be a while before you see any real impact from that.
All right, so Art is asking, are you guys planning to do anything special for Prime Day?
Yeah.
Turning off Facebook.
Turn off pay-per-click.
Getting a lot of
That,
sales.
John, you don't want pay-per-click on that day. It's going to crush you. We've got invites like crazy. I haven't sent any in.
No.
I'm pretty good.
I got a last call email
For the
today.
price, I mean, to be honest, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews now about that because everyone's doing it.
So
for
let me ask you
$150
this. So
Before it used to be special. Now it's
So but Prime Day is a little bit special.
Yeah.
It's different than lightning deals.
And it's a week.
Lightning deals are like everybody's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before it was like one day lightning
Yeah.
deals or every now and then, right? Now it's like normal.
I'm talking about Lightning Day, Prime Day though, like Prime.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about Prime Day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that day.
playoffs. Talking about playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs!
So what I'm saying is that day is really driven for like, it's like Black Friday for the
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
of
I get
Amazon,
it.
right?
Right.
So I get it. There's a lot of traffic there. Would you think then for there you do anything different, or do you do a discount, or do you do a discount on your price that you just make it lower, or do you make it higher? Like, what's your strategy? And I'm asking you like,
To be honest, I follow what some of my competitors will do. The major guys that are competitive, not the smaller guys that are trying to gain traction.
Yeah.
So if my main two guys lower it, then I'll probably lower it. I'll get my team to look at it and we'll go through. But you know what? I don't know. It's a great day to. The problem with that is, you know, if your competitor sells more than you, obviously he's going to move the algorithm farther. So it's hit or miss. I don't know. I mean, traditionally I've lowered it a little bit, but I'm not doing 50%.
are you lowering it, or are you actually adding something in there that says we're lowering it at a discount today?
I don't put any of that stuff.
Okay.
Because obviously terms can't put in your.
Well, and
I
that would
understand
be one
that.
thing I would not do on Prime Day. Please, for the love of God,
90%
do
of
not
people do
put
that.
Prime Day sale in your title. Do not put
right.
Prime Day sale in your back
People
end.
know it's a
Do
Prime
not put
Day.
Oprah's favorite things. Do not put any of those kinds of promotions. Do not put an image up that says Prime Day
Yeah.
exclusive, any of those kinds of things.
So what
unless Amazon tells you to do
So
it.
what I'm asking though is, if you don't make it known that there's something special for that day on your product, because you're not going to, maybe you weren't invited to the Prime Day,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter if you lowered your price that day,
That's right.
because someone doesn't go, oh, it's $3 cheaper today.
Right. with the exception of the fact that there's more traffic because Amazon spends millions of
Okay,
dollars.
I
So
get it.
You,
Yep.
you want the eyeballs. So one thing I
your
might
sale
do,
thing, your sale tag.
if you
want.
have a list, and this is just coming to me kind of on the fly here, and maybe something that we
MSR
wanna do.
price, what I sell it for. This is the sale today. Price.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
that-
only thing I.
That would be
do.
what you
And that would
play
be
with.
something that I would
That's
think
it.
would, if you're not doing that now, which I think everybody should be anyway,
Yeah.
you should do that where you have like what's the manufacturer price, what's the retail, and then what's the sale price. Because you see the little cross-outs, right? And that, like you said, psychologically, you're going to come there and go, oh, it's a sale. It must be because of today.
That's what it is.
Okay, and that's exactly what we do when we launch, right? We set the MSRP at $39.99.
Yep.
The sales price is half of that, so it's a 50% discount. But on top of that, we're giving our email list 50%. A lot of people don't actually end up redeeming the promo code because it says 50% on the page,
Right.
and so they don't even do that. But one thing that we may want to play with, at least on a product or two, is doing an open promotion, so 20% off, say, making it a public promotion, but then pushing that promo code to the list. So any of Scotty V's awesome products are 20% off today because it's Amazon Prime Day. I just want to let you guys know because you're part of the family,
When
right?
you drive them there.
I'm just rattling off email,
Yeah.
guys. And then you're going to drive some people who are going to buy with that promotion. You're going to get that additional promotion placement on your listing, which Amazon is doing promotions above the scroll now, kind of under the pricing. And if you get redemptions on those, they show up on the sales page, right, on that search engine
Right.
results page. So driving some of that traffic might be something that's beneficial to you. And then at the very least, you pick up some additional sales, which helps you spike the algo,
Yeah, yeah.
even if your competitors are dropping their price. Then you're not dropping your price or making changes, you're running a promotion. And it expires at midnight or whatever. You don't have to worry about forgetting to reset your price,
way
any
to
of those
do it,
kinds of
yeah.
things. And you can drive some qualified traffic of people who you know are probably going to buy from you again. Hey, if you've already bought from us, buy one for your mom, buy one for your dad because it's 20% off.
Right.
I haven't been in the back promotion shop in a while, but I know. I've always hated it. It's a nightmare. Add this
No,
SKU,
it-
this
it-
SKU,
it-
put that.
yeah,
thing.
but actually, I like
They-
it now
they made
because
it better.
I like
I
it now
haven't
though
looked in a
because
while.
up right underneath your price it shows
Yeah, yeah.
buy two get one free or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
All
Bill.
right, so Andy's asking, I've heard you have to trademark new branded PL products every time now. Is this true? Is that expensive to do?
Are we losing it?
Also, do I have to patent the
Over.
product before I
Dead.
release?
No, it's still there.
No? Oh, it's still there.
It just got dim because it's about to die.
Let's start over. Andy wants to know, I've heard you have to trademark new branded
Okay,
PL
I
products
got it.
every time now. Is this true?
No.
Is it expensive to do? Also, do I have to have a patent a product before I release, or do I have to check I'm not infringing on anyone else's?
Okay,
Thanks
so
from the UK.
so the phone is dying. What was his name? Andy?
Andy.
Let's make this the last question.
The
'cause we're
phone is
gonna run out of
dying.
battery.
So, no, you don't have to trademark a product every time. The only time you have to trademark a product on Amazon is if you want to be a part of brand registry. If you have a brand
One more.
and you're launching what?
No.
And you're launching additional products under that brand, then you don't have to trademark again because you're already brand registered. You don't ever have to patent a product unless you want to, and if you have an improvement, maybe you want to. I would check if you're concerned, if you didn't invent it, I would check to see if there's a patent on it. You can either do that yourself, Google patents.google.com or uspto.gov, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. You can go to Google and run that as well. Or you can hire a patent attorney. That process usually runs $300 to $500. As far as the cost of a trademark, it's a couple $100. It depends on how you end up filing it, and if you do the rush trademark versus the long application, any of those kinds of things. But you only have to do it once per brand.
Right.
So
that's
Alex
why-
wants to
and
know.
that's why you got to keep. You also can't keep changing your
brand.
manufacturing, your
Right,
brand name,
right.
and that makes it difficult.
Right.
I see lots of people like with our open brand, we keep everything pretty well
Everything's
the
the
same,
same.
so we don't have to go through that.
Right.
Alex wants to know, when do you know when to change your shipping method going from air to sea?
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
If you start getting a lot of sales,
Yeah,
then
you
you're going to
can.
know that you're going to
Yeah.
want to do it, and you're going to want to save that money.
So
Well,
what
my
you're gonna
answer
do
to that is as long as you don't run out of stock with air.
you'll get
Gotta
in a
keep running into
rotation
that.
though. You'll
You know
know.
what I mean?
What we do now is before we used to run out when we first started. I'll order 5,000. By the time I order and it lands, I order it again.
Right.
So we're always by sea.
Right.
Because if you could buy air, you could wait a couple weeks, but it lands, order it again, and that's
You
again.
gonna be all right, Bill?
Yeah, my knees.
gonna make
You want
it?
any more
Done.
questions?
All right, I think we gotta end this.
Yeah, I think we're going to end it
All
while we still have the phone here. But guys, do us a favor, though. Keep putting in the questions. We'll try to come back and answer some later.
probably do another
we-
one of these things.
Yeah, we'll do another one of these before we leave, actually, as
gonna be
well.
together Sunday
Probably
still.
Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you guys want to come and hang out at the North Carolina meetup, that's going to be in about 45 minutes. We got to go.
Yeah.
I need a nap.
That's going to be at, you can go to the event page at theamazingseller.com/NC. Again, maybe you guys already
Okay.
registered. If not, we'll see you there. And yeah, we'll be back and we'll be reporting on what's happening this weekend.
And I know I know you're probably wondering if retail ARB guys can show up to me. Well, of course you can. Like just
Dom is here.
If you're
Dom
doing
is
retail ARB,
here.
don't be afraid.
Yeah,
they're
don't
probably
be
afraid
afraid.
to ask. We want to come with us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some retail ARB maybe on Sunday. We're gonna go to a hotel here and see if there's anything.
Dom's gonna be in there.
He's
And
gonna flip some shampoos.
yeah.
Shampoo.
Flip some shampoo. All right,
Bundle of
that's
300
That's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up. Remember, put the comment or question in there. Share this, like it. We're going to give away one of these
One of
amazing
these guys.
T-shirts right here, brand new, just for this event. So
Not this one though. I'm gonna keep it.
no, we're not going to give you one of Tom's. You don't want that one. All right, guys. Later. Peace. Take care. Take
We
action.
haven't
We'll
done
see
this in a
you.
while.
Put them in together.
Nice.
Let's do 1, 2, 3 TAS.
Okay,
1, 2, 3 TAS.
Yes!